Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Fox's McCallum destroys LA Times for saying she only has a job because she's a blonde Barbie. Fox's Martha MacCallum went after an LA Times writer David Horsey who wrote that the women who work at Fox are blonde Barbies in short, tight skirts. The writer dismissed all of their hard work in his sexist attack, and McCallum wasn't willing to let him get away with it. Mr. Horsey has no idea what it is like to be part of this network. We work hard, get our stories right, and are proud of what we do and the success we've achieved. We're experienced journalists and reporters, most of us have been at it a long time. Between us, we've worked at all the networks and most prominent newspapers and publications. We're proud that our lineup is stocked with some of the sharpest, brightest women in the business, wrote McCallum. I started my career at the Wall Street Journal, before moving on to CNBC and NBC. In my 13 years at Fox News, I have covered countless national and international stories, 4 presidential election cycles from beginning to end as a reporter, an anchor and a debate moderator. I now host The Story, a primetime news program, which has been #1 in its time slot since it premiered. Our success is not about hair color or skirts. It's about elbow grease, dedication, and sacrificing time with our families and friends. We are fine with that, it goes with the territory, she wrote. We live in scary times though, as evidenced by Mr. Horsey's column. A society where divisiveness leads to crassness that seems to feel it's justified by political bent. Is that really who we want to be? Is that what our nation was built on? Is there a level of respect we could consider the starting point for debate or judgment? She wrote. I inspire people. Maxine Waters explains why calling for Trump's impeachment makes her a hero. Ever since President Trump was elected, Maxine Waters has gone around to funerals, AIDS walks and more, declaring that President Trump needs to be impeached. In a recent Bloomberg interview, Waters explained what a hero she feels she is. Let me just say this. I have learned over the years that I have been in this business that there are few people who are willing to speak truth to power and to talk about what really is bothering our society and our democracy. It is not thought well of to step outside of that box. When I talk about impeachment, I described what I think about this president. I think he is deplorable, said Waters. I encourage people, and I inspire people, and I show people that you do not have to be intimidated. You do not have to be afraid. You do not have to be traditional. You need to step outside of the box and tell it like it is, she said. Wow. That is what I do everywhere I go. I say impeach 45. I get people knowing and understanding that perhaps he should be impeached, she said. Maxine Waters should be impeached. Does that help? And focus on what he has done, the way he has defined himself, his relationship with Putin, and the belief that there has been collusion and obstruction of justice. It is all there. I will talk about it everywhere I go, said Waters. Joy Behar defends Al Franken after groping her. Meghan McCain crushes her for it. Democratic Senator and former Hollywood comedian Al Franken has been accused of groping various women. And there is photographic evidence against him. But this didn't stop the View's Joy Behar from defending him. Even though a photo of him groping her has been spreading around the internet. It was disappointing to hear this about Al Franken. I can't back Al. He's a very funny comedian, he was during this time. He's a senator from Minnesota. He's a great advocate for women. It's just so disappointing. Men of all different stripes are out there doing crazy SHT, said Behar. After calling Franken a great advocate for women, Behar also tried to demean the woman who accused him, saying the photo of him groping her was a joke. In the picture he was obviously making a joke. I don't know if he actually had his hands on her, but it's the part, about the USO skit, where he thrust his tongue down her throat, allegedly, and forced her to kiss him. That is what you call non-consensual assault, Beher said. Beher also tried to pivot to President Trump when they talked about Franken on The View, but Meghan McCain would not let her. What about Trump? His people are saying that those women who accused him are liars, said Beher. This is serious. I know her. And when you're saying what about Trump, this is about Leanne. This is an epidemic. Bipartisan, across party lines, responded McCain. Roy Moore hits Sean Hannity with a brutal replay for giving him a 24-hour ultimatum. During a recent Fox segment, Hannity told Roy Moore that he should be trying harder to refute specific allegations made against him. He told Roy Moore he has 24 hours to disprove the inconsistencies in his story. However, Roy Moore struck back in a way Hannity wasn't expecting. Dear Sean, I am suffering the same treatment other Republicans have had to endure. A month prior to the general election for U.S. Senate in Alabama, I have been attacked by the Washington Post and other liberal media in a desperate attempt to smear my character and defeat my campaign, wrote Moore in a letter back to Hannity. I have been married for almost 33 years to my wife Kayla. We have 4 children and 5 granddaughters. We are in the process of investigating these false allegations to determine their origin and motivation, explained Moore. Are we at a stage in American politics in which false allegations can overcome a public record of 40 years, stampede the media and politicians to condemn an innocent man, and potentially impact the outcome of an election of national importance? When allegations of events occurring 40 years ago, and never before mentioned during a 40-year career of public service, are brought out and taken seriously only 30 days before a critical election, we may be in trouble as a country, said Moore. I adamantly deny the allegations of Lee Korfman and Beverly Nelson, did not date underage girls, and have taken steps to begin a civil action for defamation. Because of that, at the direction of counsel, I cannot comment further, he writes. Do you believe him? Melania just did one thing no other First Lady ever could, and entire USA's saying thanks Melania. Melania Trump is not your average First Lady. Look, I am not taking anything away from any of the others like Laura Bush, Michelle, or even Hillary. I am just saying Melania owns her own very successful business and created her own brand, before she came to the White House. Sure, the others have brands now, but none had one before the White House. Except Melania. Which makes her unique and, like her husband President Trump, the perfect choice to cut the fat from the bloated budget. And this is not a criticism of Michelle or Laura. We want out leaders and their families to be comfortable, so we give them huge budgets, and more of a compliment to Melania. Because as a businesswoman she knows what is needed and what is extra and knows how to stretch a dollar. Just like her husband. And with our deficit problem it comes just in the nick of time. Melania has significantly cut the fat from Michelle's and Laura's and Hillary's budgets and is saving taxpayers a good chunk of change in the process. According to new report by Fox News, in President Barack Obama's first year Michelle had 16 on staff who earned a combined $1.24 million a year. Melania Trump? 4 are listed in the report, but her communications director says there are 9. Either way, the total cost to taxpayers is just $486,700. As with all things that she does, she is being very deliberate in her hiring, focusing on quality over quantity, communications director Stephanie Grisham said. It is important to her that the team is a good fit for what she wants to accomplish as First Lady, and that everyone works well together. She also wants to be mindful and responsible when it comes to taxpayer money. FactCheck.org released their own rankings and found Michelle came in first with 24 staffers in her most lavish year, followed by Hillary with 19 and Laura Bush with 18. Melania Trump has between 4 and 9 staffers. Join me in giving a thank you to Melania for saving us something, however small. ESPN anchor calls fans who want liberal politics out of sports chicken nasty and vulgar rant. ESPN's Van Pelt attacked football fans who are tired of liberal politics being injected into sports. He even called them chicken sht in his obscene rant. This make-believe world where everyone wants to talk st, this st talking, poke you in the chest virtual whatever, it's just there's nothing more chicken st than that because it's the easiest thing in the world to do. And again, if that's how people really felt, somewhere along the line, I would have intersected with someone that felt that way and would come up and say, hey, you know, I think your show sucks, I think ESPN sucks and I think you guys are doomed. Never. Not once, said Pelt. Maybe no one has confronted him in person. But thousands complain online and in polls. He went on to mock anyone trying to boycott the network. If you truly want to boycott the NFL or you want to boycott ESPN, the notion that some guy sitting out there, or gal, and they decide, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut my entire cable package because ESPN gave an award on a made-up show in July, because there's no sports, to a woman that used to be a man, so I'm now gonna not have any cable TV at all, and I'm gonna sit around at night and read books by candlelight like olden times because of that, he said. That's not happening. And if you did that, then you're so dumb that I can't even pray for you because you're beyond hope. If that was your reaction to this, to deny yourself the ability to watch television, I mean, that just hasn't happened and didn't happen, he wrote.